Hey everybody! So, I know I'm wearing my little lion onesie that I got for Christmas, and I think it's cute, but probably not. That's why my tits are out. See? That makes everything better. Never mind. So I've wanted to kind of make a video about this for a while, and I've just kind of been putting it off. I don't know why, but it makes me really sad. And it's made me sad. It's made me like more sad in the last like couple days because I've been kind of looking into all this stuff, and there's been kind of like, I think this year is probably it's been more like prominent, but a lot of people who've been accused of like rape and like pedophilia and all that stuff. Like, I know James Franco was accused of rape. Melanie Martinez was accused of rape. Donald Trump obviously was accused of rape. Shane Dawson was accused of pedophilia, of being a pedophile. A YouTuber that I watch a lot, Onision, has been accused for a while of being a pedophile because of these freaking because of some of the videos that he makes where underage girls are in there and they're like, oh, look, tits. Just isn't true. And I feel like I forgot how bad my hair was. I feel like a lot of it is kind of bullshit. But I don't know. So I think that the whole Shane Dawson thing that's happened recently was kind of bullshit. And it's so obviously bullshit. I don't really know everything that's been happening with like James Franco and Melanie Martinez, although I do know that I have been called lots of names and said that I'm a terrible, awful, disgusting person because I still listen to Melanie Martinez's music, because I still think that it's freaking great, and I'm apparently an awful, terrible person for that, because that's just awful. I'm terrible. I should just go, I don't know. But I don't know, there's been a lot of stuff like that, and it makes me really sad, because I don't know if it's all true or if it's all bullshit, but I think that there's not a lot of, like, kind of like, I don't know, critical thinking when it comes to these things. They just like, oh, it's true, obviously, and it kind of, even if it's not true, kind of ruins these people's reputations, and it's kind of sad. And then there was, I know that there was the whole thing with Logan Paul and his, like, dead body in the woods, which I know people are getting really, really upset over, and personally, I don't think that there was really anything wrong with the video he made. I didn't see all of it, because I couldn't really find it after people blew up about it, but I did find, like, I found one where, I guess it was, like, the really bad parts where he was, like, looking real close. I don't really know. I've watched like bits and pieces of it where he was like, guys, is that a dead body? And he was like really fake and stupid. But I don't think that it was a really big deal. Like, he found something, he was like, whoa, a dead body. He was like in the suicide forest. I do think that he's kind of a tool, and I always thought that he was kind of a tool, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with what he did. Which I don't know. I think I still think he's a tool, and I think he was always a tool, but I don't know. People are getting really mad about that, and I feel like right now there's a lot of stuff that people are getting super pissed off about, because people just love to be offended and people love to be angry, and it's just really sad to me, because all this stuff is happening. Like, I think people are blowing up things that aren't really that big of a deal and making them fucking like huge things because they just want to be angry, and they're not really looking into, they're just kind of believing anything you know, that people are saying, and they're just like, well, I'm just going to take that as fact because I heard it. And not really looking for evidence. People are getting really in a lot of trouble for a lot of stuff. I think that people are getting really mad about everything. And, like, okay, so I'm not really saying that the whole reason that Black Lives Matter was, like, not a big deal, because it really was, and it was fucked up, and it made me sad that, I guess, cops were, like, shooting black people, but cops, I think that the war on cops now makes me really sad, because I think people are being really disrespectful to these men and women that are serving the community, that are being, like, cops are now these terrible people that are just awful, and, so I don't really agree with Black Lives Matter protests, and here's why. Because Black Lives Matter kind of went from something that was supposed to be doing good, and now is really not doing good at all, because they are burning down their own cities to protest police brutality, and it's not helping. There are, and most of these Black Lives Matter protests aren't protests, they're riots. There was one where, cops will come to freaking protests to make sure that people are safe, not to freaking try to shoot people. There was one Black Lives Matter protest, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there were protesters that were throwing like fireworks and debris and like rocks at police and trying to like hurt them. There was one where people were setting fires, burning down their own towns. There were several like that, and people, the defense that most people have is kind of like, oh, well, that doesn't describe all Black Lives Matter. That's not. Well, that's not really a defense, because first of all, it is part of the movement, and second of all, cops that kill freaking people aren't, you're kind of generalizing police like that. Because some police that shoot innocent people, that's not all police, but I don't know, I think it's different. But kind of moving away from the Black Lives Matter thing, I don't know. There were people who this year that were marching in the streets wearing freaking vagina hats or whatever. I don't know. I didn't really pay that much attention other than what was shoved in my face, because that we're like, fuck Trump. Oh, we're so freaking cool because we burn down our cities because we don't like the president, which is kind of bullshit. The whole not my president movement. I know that people don't like Donald Trump. Like, it's a thing, but a lot of people don't like him. Or maybe that's just the loud people, but I think he's not gonna get impeached because people are throwing tantrums and people are like, oh, he needs to get kicked out. He hasn't done anything illegal. He hasn't done anything wrong. But I don't know. People are really mad at everything, so it doesn't really matter. But until he does something really illegal, he's not gonna get impeached. And he's anything actually illegal, not just freaking stupid allegations of, like I said, I don't know if any of them are real or not, but I don't think they are. I don't know. It just makes me really sad that a lot of people, they can't do anything nowadays but hate on everyone and everything, and it's really sad, because that's not really how I think things should be. People just love to get angry and hateful and fucking, it makes me really sad, because nowadays we can't really have intelligent discussions without getting angry and mean and trying to insult somebody. Intelligent conversations are just, they're done. And as much as I would like to think that things are going to get better and people are going to be like, oh, maybe this is kind of fucking ridiculous that we are being really hateful and rude, I don't think that that's going to happen. I just think that things are going to get worse and worse and worse, and I think that people are going to continue being angry, and they're just going to be common decency and respect for other human beings. I think it's just going to go down, and it's I think that in the next like 3 years there's nothing's going to change. I think that it's just going to go, and I don't know. It just makes me sad because people are really hateful nowadays, and I don't know. It's not really necessary to be that angry and mean to other people, especially people that didn't really do anything. They just have different opinions than you. Like, I don't know. Like the entire left movement, or the entire left, is just, if you don't believe exactly what I believe, then you're a bigot and you're a freaking terrible people. And people are getting these labels put on them that are ridiculous. Like the other day, I don't even remember what, somebody called me a bigot and a homophobe because I don't even remember what I said, but I'm like, they said that I was anti-LGBT, and I was like, are you sure? I don't know if that's a thing that I can be if I'm not straight. Does that make sense? It was really frustrating, and it was, I mean, I know it was obviously coming from people that are just misinformed and they don't understand that because you say something, anything that disagrees with them, that does not automatically make you a bigot. I said something about, no, they accused atheists of being anti-gay and freaking hating gay people, and I was like, I think the Bible has a lot of anti-gay stuff in it. Like, there's a lot of fucked up, like, gay people are terrible shit in the Bible. And they were like, oh, you're a freaking bigot, and you're a homophobe, and you're a terrible person. And I was like, oh, okay. I just thought it was fucked. But, I don't know, people are getting those labels put on them a lot because, I think people are really afraid to speak their mind nowadays because of that fear of being labeled a bigot or a homophobe or a racist. And I'm not afraid of that because I know that I'm not racist or homophobic or any of that. I don't know. I just kind of wish that people would get along. And that kind of sounds cliche and hippy-dippy, but it's kind of frustrating that everything has to be angry. And I know that that's why, like, that's just how you get people to pay attention to you, because people really like controversy. And people are attracted to controversy because it's interesting. It's all interesting. Of course it is. But having different opinions does not make that person evil. And that does not make that person the enemy. It just means that you don't have the same opinions. I don't know. Those are kind of my thoughts. I might make another video like this. I don't know. Again, like, there's stuff that I didn't really talk about in this video that I want to, but it's kind of getting long. So, yeah, that's kind of it that I have to say right now. Just be nice to people. And, yeah, see you next time. Bye.